Hello and welcome. Great to see you. So today's just a little bit different. I bet you've got a little basket too. So I have a little basket that I put in things that I'm working on currently, and it travels from room to room or wherever if I go to somebody else's house. So I thought I would give you a look inside it. So let's move the basket out of the way and let's see what the contents are. Okay, so we've got a little box here with little ribbons and lace in. Now I only take a small part because, as I say, it's just things that I'm using right now. This is my to-do sewing basket. So we've got some little flower ribbon there. Very pretty. I love the colour on that. And some little white lace, and that's really pretty, that one. And this is just it's got little love hearts on it. That's so cute. Quite delicate as well, that one. And we've got some gold, sparkly gold. You've got to have gold ribbon, haven't you? Now we've got this big black wide ribbon, which I love, and it's actually stretchy as well. So it's quite useful for a lot of things. It's got a lot of stretch in it. But yeah, I love that. I've also got a cream version of that. So that's my little travel box. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, this came free with my magazine. I get Love Embroidery and Today's Quilter every month. I have been doing for the past, oh gosh, I don't know, 2 years. And it's the only magazines that I get, really, apart from ones that I buy on eBay for cutting up. Um, I love going through them, getting ideas. This is the best book that I've had. It's amazing. It's clear, it's concise. There's lots of pictures, and it just basically tells you how to do stitches. And this is a book on embroidery designs, so ones that you can trace off and then put onto the fabric yourself. I don't use them that often, but it is nice to have it there. And then we have this, which, as you can see, I've started. It is for my calendar scroll. This is my calendar scroll. The idea of this is I add to it every month, and it is the flowers of the month and the star signs, and then I just make it pretty. No real designs in mind, I'm just doing it as I go along. So the bit that I've got in the frame there will go at the end to the right, and that will be for May. So you can see, so like daffodils were for March, and irises were for February, and violets, I think. And then we've got January, and I actually started it on January the 1st. So it's quite good. I just add to it every month. And this is a little basket that I made out of a snippet roll. I cut myself a base for the bottom out of felt. I triple layered it, actually, and then just turned the snippet roll on its side and sewed it round. This is a pincushion of a tortoise that I made myself. Scissors, got to have scissors. Nice bit of purple ribbon. This in the basket is just odds and ends. I very rarely throw anything away, so it's just, you know, if I've been using ribbon on something and I've cut a little bit of it off, it tends to go in this little basket, which means it needs using. I love these little daisy flowers, they're so cute. A little bit of butterfly. I've obviously snipped off a piece of fabric as I was using it. Oh, that's a little flower that I crocheted my daughter a blanket for Christmas, and I had a couple of flowers left, so, you know, I've got to keep them. And some chiffon, which you can do so many things with. Makes lovely flowers. Some pink ribbon, of course, it's me. There was bound to be some pink in there. A little bit of black embroidery thread. Some more of those little lilac flowers. And that's a very pale pink ribbon. I think that's gross grain, that one. A little bit of lace offcut. That will be used for something. A little bit of cream ribbon. Oh, little flowers. These are quite cute. And that's my version of those little flowers that I made myself, and will be going on one of my other snippet rolls. And that's a little bunny that I made myself. Not quite sure where he's going yet. I love these little gingham hearts. Another little flower. A little bit of green thread. I've obviously been using green and black. Another lovely little bit of lace. That's so pretty. And a bit more green ribbon. Green thread. Bit of Savi silk. And pretty little flowers. More purple ribbon. Ah, not quite sure why that's in there, but hey ho. Another little butterfly. And another little crochet flower. And a bit of purple and blue tie-dye. A bit of chiffon. Another flower. A little bit of pink ribbon. Well, lace, sorry. Are we at the bottom yet? Lilac ribbon. Pink thread. More flowers. That's it. And next we've got some mixed seed beads. I do have some separate seed beads split into colours. And this is a new snippet roll that I haven't started work on yet, but it's going to be slow stitching to make a pouch. And that's my design to sew to go on to my calendar scroll, yearly scroll, for May, which is Lily of the Valley. Fabric glue, don't use it very often. Sparklies, got to have sparklies. That's flower sequins and ordinary sequins. Needles, as I say, this is just a very basic basket that, yes, more designs. Yeah, it's just a very basic basket that I put my whatever I'm working on at the moment in. Yep, this is my Animal Forest snippet roll. So they're all basted on, the designs are basted on, I've not actually stitched any of them on yet. I stitch based. I don't like glue basting, I prefer to stitch based. This is a bit of ladybird fabric that I've put on there to remind me to use it. And a tree, squirrel, another tree, and another tree, and sorry, I got distracted then, and a deer. My snippet rolls never have like any firm plans. I decide what's going on them and I make it as I go along. That's part of the joy. That's what I do. I try to do a little bit every single day. And I have so many snippet rolls so I can do a different one every day. You know? And this is Sea and Sky. I make the little tags myself and then I stick them on the snippet roll so I know what it's going to be. Yeah, that way. So again, most of this is basted on, I've just started sewing the sea at the bottom onto the actual roll. So there's a few fancy little bits on there, but it's not got too much work on it. Depending on how much work I put into the snippet rolls, depends on how long it takes me to finish them. Sometimes it can be done in a month, sometimes it's 6 months. And like the calendar one, that's going to take me a whole year, and that's fine. It's not a race. This is one that I've started sewing a background on, but I haven't decided what to do with it yet. So I've just started filling in and putting some simple seed stitching on, and I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it yet. Something will come to me. I like to have a nice little spare. Not quite sure yet. It's very pretty. It's got some lovely fabrics on it. If I get a fabric that I really like, then I tend to just cut a little bit off with the intention of putting it on a snippet roll. And I like to do a background first and then add everything else over the top. It's just the way I like to work. And I usually sew on calico or linen, because that's part of slow stitching, is the actual feel of the stitching, rather than it's the practice of stitching and the feel of stitching and the enjoyment of it, rather than the end product. And for me, linen and calico are both very tactile fabrics, so that's what I prefer to use. Linen also comes in lots of beautiful colours. And this is one that it's got nothing on. I started this one last night. It is just an empty roll. I've not even decided what to do with it. It's going to be to make embellishments for journaling, which is why it says journal on the label. So it's going to be kind of like slow stitch washi tape. Hope that makes sense. That's my intention anyway. I'll just snip bits off of it as I need them. And okay, this is my basket with my odds and ends. Now this is what I call big odds and ends. So fat quarters that I've started using, and these are my embroidery threads And at the bottom here we have offcuts of fabric and a jar of mixed buttons, offcuts of felt, some more ribbon, and there's a little basket at the back with a few more bits in, and that is felt squares. I keep all the little bits of fabric and they all go in my little jar. Sometimes you only need a 1 centimetre piece. You may as well just use those. So here we have washi tape box, and the 2 boxes there is various card and paper. That is my acrylic paint box, and that is hole punches, various designs, and rubber stamps. That's the glue that I'm using right now, and that is my journals to the left of me, and my watercolour paints, and this is fabric in the box at the bottom, then magazines and papers, and then we've got paintbrushes. In those boxes is fussy cut pictures and tabs and ATCs and pens and pencils. And at the top we've got a box with sellotape in it, box full of glitter, more paintbrushes, and then we have a box full of lace, reels, and that big box there is fat quarters, and that is my Gutterman and Aurifil thread because I don't use those for tacking, I use those for finishing. And that is a box of slow stitch squares and my slow stitch book, and those are my embroidery books. There's a few art books in there as well, I think. Most importantly, my drinks for the day. Coffee, well, it's a latte, and water, because that's basically all I drink. And on the top here we have Joy, of course, who likes to sit there and keep a watch over me at all times. My art pencils and my Posca pens. That's it. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Take care now.